You may think you're in the dark, but you're really not. You're actually in the doorway with the dawn coming on over the horizon. And in true Pisces fashion, this new moon on March 18th has a duality about it. We have a new beginning coming out of an ending, and with a karmic surprise just for fun. Let's discuss. So welcome to the channel, or welcome back. My name is Stella Wilde, your anti-doom, no BS astrologer. And today, yes, in our episode of Coffee and Cosmos, we are going to discuss the new moon in Pisces on March 18th. So this new moon is very interesting because it has energy threads to our past attached to it. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we tend to think of new moons as time to plant new seeds, which, yes, is true, right? It's initiation energy. It's let's begin new things energy. But what do you do with a new moon? How do you solve a problem like a new moon in Pisces that has connections to past energies and is still under the influence of a Mercury retrograde, also in Pisces? So as you may know, or if you don't, I'm going to tell you, it is all about using the energies. So let's talk about how we use the energies of this new moon. What is going on? What are these threads? Apply the time frames of the past to our life today so we can get some clarity around, yes, maybe a course of action we would like to take with this new moon in Pisces energy. So this new moon in Pisces is happening at 28 degrees. And that is a significant placement for it happening because it's activating energies that were very much in the frame last tail end of 2025, November, December, and then into the beginning of 2026, January, February, with both Neptune and Saturn. Now, as we know, Neptune has ended its long transit of Pisces. It's now in Aries, but it was hanging out and hovering very close to this 28th degree. It was at 29 degrees for months. It was just stuck there, November, December, until it finally clicked into Aries at the end of January. So the fact that this new moon is coming in very close to the same degree, it's kind of acting as a cosmic seal, wrapping up that energy of Neptune hovering at a very karmic degree to end its long journey through Pisces. Now, I have done several videos all about that, which you can check out on the channel. We also had Saturn hovering at this 28th, 29th degree from, again, middle of December 2025 into the early part of 2026. And Saturn finally went into Aries on February 14th, 2026. So again, a cosmic seal with this new moon, wrapping up the old, but also initializing the new. Okay, so this Saturn and Neptune was bringing a lot of attention to karmic contracts and boundaries. Neptune hovering at those final degrees of Pisces was really helping us look at the long season of tears, is what I called it, that we went through with that transit. A lot of loss, a lot of crying, a lot of dissolution. I mean, a lot of things were dissolving beneath our feet with that transit. Again, check out those other videos. But now here comes this new moon in Pisces at this similar degree. However, we have Neptune. Yeah, we had Neptune. We had plenty of Neptune. However, we have Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Now, it's not at these same degrees, but it's in the middle of the sign. Okay, but it's retrograde. So this new moon is like you're standing on the threshold, right? In a doorway. And behind you is the past of all you went through with Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. And the Mercury retrograde is kind of reminding you of that. It may be bringing back, because we know that's what Mercury retrograde does. It's bringing back memories, right, from the past. It may be bringing back Piscean themes for you, wherever you have Pisces in your chart. It may be bringing people back from your past. It may be bringing up the last little bits of karmic shifting, decluttering, purging, acceptance, forgiveness, if that's appropriate. Again, in whatever area Pisces is for you in your chart, these last threads. So that's kind of happening like, behind you. Imagine, again, you're standing on the threshold in a doorway. Behind you, there's still a few little things you got to clean up, but you're also seeing the dawn of the new, because that is also the promise of a new moon in Pisces, that we are at the same time finishing up, like cosmically sealing. Like, think about a wax seal, right? And back in the day, right? Old fashioned on a letter. And you put that imprint on there. The letter is sealed, and maybe you stick it in a drawer. Maybe it's one of those unsent letters. And that would be a good thing actually to do with this particular energy at this new moon, right? One of those unsent letters, purge out the last bits of emotional stuff you want to purge out about all this, Piscean transits of energy we have had. Purge it out, tuck it away in a drawer, and, it's over and done with for you. And this Mercury retrograde is important with this energy. For this last 3 weeks, we've been going through eclipse season, as we know. I've done videos on that too. And we're all kind of raring to go with the eclipse energy. And like, we want to get started. We want to, get our motivations and inspirations and actions and stuff happening. Yet we've been dragging our butts a little bit with this retrograde, with the eclipse season. But it was necessary, because it is very important to put this long transit of these Piscean energies into that last final perspective, so that when we cross the threshold into the new, the road is clear. Our mind is clear. Our heart is clear. Take those actions and seal away the last bits you need to seal away in that letter. Work with the metaphors. Everything's a metaphor. Then guess what? It is a lot more likely that you are ready for the possible surprise that could be delivered with Uranus in Taurus going direct and acting in a favorable sextile, favorable alignment to the new moon degree. It's an exact sextile. It's 28 Taurus of Uranus right there, 28 new moon in Pisces. So think too of the Pisces emblem, symbol, right? It is the fish, one swimming this way and one swimming the other way. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not going to swim back in our past to stay stuck there, but we may have a final little bit to clear up. We clear it up. We start swimming with the other fish. And guess what? A surprise door may open. We may see a surprise pathway ahead of us as we are standing on that threshold. How many metaphors can I mix in this discussion today? But Uranus is the energy of awakening. It is the energy of surprise and epiphanies and inventive solutions. And guess what? Uranus was also hanging out at the 28th degree of Taurus back in December of 2025. And there can be something too about lessons, because Saturn was recently in Pisces, as we know. So this new moon could show you where you're setting an intention to do things a little differently, because you have learned a lesson about, boundaries, limits, etc., responsibilities when it comes to the Pisces area of your chart. Well, let's discuss briefly what this might mean for each sign in terms of setting some intentions with this very interesting new moon in Pisces that, has a one fish in the past and one fish in the future. Okay, so Aries, there can be a surprise for you in terms of you setting an intention because you have learned some sort of lesson about releasing an outdated, outmoded version of your own self-esteem and self-worth. So whatever intentions you are setting at this new moon in Pisces for moving ahead in your life and taking on new responsibilities, in my opinion, you might want to think about how you're not repeating old scripts, old contracts, old karmic contracts, and that whatever new commitments that you are making in your life, intentions that you are setting are based in your newfound and reclaimed sense of identity and self-worth. And the surprising part may come in you eliminating a course of action from your past, maybe saying no to somebody, really putting some proper boundaries in place so that you can have a fresh start in whatever it is that's on your agenda right now. There is a lot about untethering yourself from the past in a way that, yeah, is surprising, like cutting off a source of energy or freeing yourself from a source of energy extraction that really prevented you, I think, from maybe a material goal, a money goal, and or a personal goal in some way. So Taurus, for you, thinking about this new moon in Pisces, you may have been rethinking where you stand with certain hopes, wishes, and dreams. And you may very much surprise yourself by leaving something in your past at this new moon. You may set an intention for an entirely new adventure you want to have in your life and make peace with your past in that whatever you were thinking of manifesting before, yeah, maybe it did manifest, or maybe it's something where it just doesn't fit where you see yourself going anymore. And so you're maybe reconstructing the plan, reconfiguring the plan, or maybe you're abandoning it entirely in favor of something new. And that could be the surprise thing. You may surprise yourself with how you set an intention because you've changed your mind about a direction that you want to move in your life. So Gemini, for you, what might be going on at this new moon is you may have recently, with this Mercury retrograde, received some interesting information from behind the scenes, maybe from your spirit guides, something you weren't expecting, or maybe you just had a revelation yourself, right? Just you woke up one day and you realized, oh, that's why that happened. And it could be that whatever piece of information that has risen to the surface, it could bring about setting some new intentions with how you're showing up in the world, and especially in relation to your career and where you see yourself going. You may be having a change of heart with something career related, more so because something within you has shifted. It's very deeply personal. It's like I'm saying, like some sort of spiritual epiphany you may have had that, you're just like, okay, I've got to change the intentions I have for my career, my role in the public. How willing am I to be in the public even? I mean, that could be part of it. So that's what I feel may be going on for you with these intentions at this new moon in Pisces. So Cancer, for you, you may be feeling at this new moon in Pisces, well, where do I feel at home in the world? Where is the place where I can really grow and expand? And maybe you did transplant yourself somewhere, or maybe you did expand into a certain realm, whatever it might be. Like you had growth in a certain area, but now you're feeling like you need to shake things up. You want to shake things up. You've been there, done that. You achieved a certain goal. Why are you still going to go after the same old thing? So I think that's something you're looking at perhaps at this new moon in Pisces, how to commit to something a little more stimulating and invigorating in your life and not take a path that you've already been down in some way. So Leo, for you, there's a lot of inner work, inner transformation, inner resources, and maybe even other people's resources that you're kind of rethinking, like your reliance on those things, your reliance on other people's resources, how you play the game. And I mean that in just a general sense, not that you're a game player, but just in the larger sense of the term. And so you may feel like you want to really shake up how other people are seeing you. You may want to change something with your career. Maybe you're thinking of being more independent in some way, freeing yourself from the necessity of playing the game, the office politics, the, CYA and the kissing other people's bums, like this type of shenanigans. Like, you're like, I really want to be done with that. So there could be just some inner things of your own inner resources, looking at, am I capable? You are very capable. How am I capable? What am I willing to do and transform in order to bring about greater opportunity, more visibility, more acclaim, more recognition, more career advancement? Like these types of things are in the frame for you, I feel. So for you, Virgos, this new moon in Pisces probably has connections and relationships on your radar. But the thing is, I think you're really craving some, I don't want to say eccentric, but you're craving different types of connections, relationships, and ways you can expand your world and grow through other people. So it's not that you have to set an intention to get rid of, people in your life. We're not saying that. But it could just be re-examining who is in your life, taking stock. This is looking at the past type thing, and setting an intention to expand your world through more innovative partnerships in some way. It could just be that you're going to have a new activity friend and you try something new, like whatever it might be, a new hobby, like something like that. I mean, it could be basic things like that. Maybe if you're in the dating world, you're like, you know what, I'm going to stop dating my type. I'm going to, date outside my type. And maybe that's how I will find my person. It's like these types of things. So I think you're shaking up associations and setting intentions for new associations that can take you outside of the box that maybe your connections have been in up to this point. So for you, Libra, this new moon in Pisces could be bringing up the energy of making surprising, deep changes in your life, because I feel like you are on the next stage, the next step of Libra 2.0, your Libra healing, well-being, self-improvement regimen, so to speak, that you have been on. Libras have been on this journey. But you have passed certain tests. You are on, you are on the road ahead to Libra 2.0. You've been dealing with Saturn and Neptune going through that 6th house of well-being, which was not easy, but you came through it. So this new moon in Pisces could be like taking stock of how far you have come, but also making some surprising shifts with your own energy and the way you interact with other people's energy, and understanding power dynamics and how they affect you energetically, especially in terms of your money and your well-being. So you could be really surprising yourself with making better energetic investments in all of your relationship connections, with what you're doing at work, and how you are supporting your well-being. You are seeing very clearly and a lot more quickly how things cost you energetically and whether you're willing or not to pay that price. So for you, Scorpio, this new moon in Pisces might have you setting some intentions that actually surprise other people in your life. You may have a surprising change of heart about the next thing you do want to do and invest your heart space energy into. You may do kind of like a 180 with a connection in your life, with a project you thought you were pretty much committed to, and maybe you're like, you know what, I really don't want to do that. I think there's something here at this new moon for you to really set an intention to be very honest with yourself, with what you truly want, what is already like done. Like you don't want to go backwards. But in looking toward your future, there may be a surprising way you're going to be interacting and shifting your energy and energy commitments with other people, because you may need a little more energy back to yourself and some new and exciting heart-centered activity, pursuit, goal that you're going to be investing your energy in. And other people around you may be a little surprised seeing you move in that direction. And I would say if they are, then you probably set the right intention for this new moon in Pisces. And also, if you're surprised, you set the right intention. Surprising change of heart. So Sagittarius, for you, this new moon in Pisces is an opportunity to finally make peace with something going on regarding home, family roots, what nourishes you, what feeds you, and your inner world in some way, your foundation in life. So this is tied in with your well-being. Okay, so you may be setting some surprising intentions to change something in this fourth house area for you because it doesn't work with your well-being anymore. So there could be a lot of reinforcement of boundaries, especially with family members, reconfiguring, restating. But the reasons might be different now. Like the reasons might be because you really are awakening or have awakened to the fact that not having those boundaries drains your energy and affects your well-being significantly. There may also be some surprising new intention you're setting around making your home a place that is more of a sanctuary, a comfort to you, that supports your well-being in some ways you haven't quite thought of as yet up to this point. So Capricorn, for you, you might be setting some new intentions to finish up stuff that is still on your desk, on your plate, stored up in your brain, that needs to be manifested in the world. Okay, so maybe there's just, book manuscript you need to finish. You need to finish up launching your website. You need to finish up some conversation you need to have with somebody. Something like this, you need to get that contract signed and get it on its way, these types of things. Because I think once you clear up some stuff that's been dangling, that's been hanging there, you may have a very surprising shift in the direction that you go in next when it comes to your creative life force energy and what you want to invest that into. So I feel like there could be a brand new kind of genius thing that you might be working on. But right now, that energy, it's not that it's blocked. The path is ready, I think, for you ahead for that. But it's the old stuff, like I talked about in the prelude to this video, the prologue. There's just some old stuff that's lingering that needs to be dealt with. Whether you just release it and say, you know what, whatever, I didn't finish it, I didn't do it, okay, fine, whatever, I want to move on. Or you finish it, whatever the case may be. But that is what I would say here at this new moon in Pisces. Tie up the loose ends so that something very surprising and innovative you can start investing your energy into. And it's going to stir up your heart space. Like it's going to be like, woo. So Aquarius, this is interesting because this new moon is happening in your money house and your house of self-worth. And we have the surprise element coming in with your fourth house of foundation, stability, and your home life. So there could be some intentions that you are setting to, clear up money matters in regards to your financial foundation. Maybe there's things you have not been looking at. Maybe there are bills that still need to be paid. I mean, don't we all have those? But you know what I'm saying. Maybe there are money streams you haven't been able to quite get a hold of yet or invest your energy into for whatever reasons. Maybe you've had a lot of things going on. So I feel like there's something here mostly to look at, especially from maybe the end of last year, the beginning of this year, to clear off your plate, to get straight in your mind, not to beat yourself up about it, but to set an intention that I will deal with these things. I will set a budget. I will look at whatever I need to look at. I will focus on manifesting more. I will affirm that I am an abundant person. I will affirm that I can handle this and get this done. Start a new money situation. You may see that the new money stream has a little bit, again, of seeds from the past, but ultimately there is something here about your own identity, right? Your ruling planet in that fourth house and feeling stable and secure in your own identity that you can ask for more, you deserve more, and you can handle whatever you have going on in your finances currently, and that you are innovative and genius, and you can find an interesting solution that will help you deal with this money situation, whatever you've got going on. So Pisces, this is your new moon. So this is time to think about your own identity and where you see yourself going next. And it is a lot about, in my opinion, getting out of the mindset of the past, because we have Uranus and Taurus, favoring this new moon. It's in your third house of your mindset, your communications. Neptune, your ruling planet, and Saturn have moved now into your second house of self-worth. But you may still be telling yourself a certain story with Mercury retrograde in your sign about what you're capable of, especially in terms of money manifestation, right? And what you deserve. So this could be a great time for you to really look at any old stories, identities, things like this that are still there, that maybe you're clinging to or whatever's going on. They're still part of your consciousness. And how do I set an intention, or let me set an intention to shift my mindset in some unexpected awakening way that I have changed, I have grown, I am in a new reality now. I have learned from Neptune and Saturn in my sign transiting for all those years. I am on the other side of that, and I can make new choices that are grounded in the reality of who I am now. And as someone who can change their mind, as somebody who is extremely gifted and genius level with Uranus in your third house right now, that you can come up with unique solutions to create a new life for yourself. I mean, this is your personal new moon. And if you haven't already checked out the birthday reading I did for you, I will leave a link to it in the description. You might want to look at that as well. But this is really your opportunity at this new moon to free yourself from any lingering mindsets and identities that are from the past suffering seasons that we've gone through, and claim an inspiring, innovative, exciting, and very worthy path for yourself ahead. So thank you so much for joining me for your new moon in Pisces astrology overview, horoscope, transit discussion. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What type of intention are you setting? What are you looking forward to manifesting? The universe is very wise. There is a reason why we had a Mercury retrograde in the beginning of the year after all these eclipses. we needed it. We needed to pause, to think, to reflect. We have plenty of energy in April. Trust me. The new moon in Aries. We will have a powerhouse of energy in Aries, this initiating, go for it, gung ho. And again, not that we can't have a new beginning at a new moon in Pisces, of course not. But it is in preparation for all the planets going direct, which happens when we get out of this Mercury retrograde. We will have all planets direct until the beginning of May when Pluto goes retrograde. I'm not really counting that, but we will have all planets direct from March 20th when Mercury goes direct all the way through June. So we are, really setting ourselves up for a dynamic next couple of months. This new moon in Pisces is a very good spiritual preparation phase with this reflection energy to really position ourselves in a go-ahead moment when we're going to hit the ground running, especially mid-April with that stellium in Aries. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss those videos when they come out. There's so much that I am filming and I'm getting ready to go on the channel. So I know you don't want to miss those things. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let me know in the comments. Did you have your coffee with you? I had my coffee with me. But you know what keeps me going? It's you. You are my caffeine. And I want to also give a special shout out to all the channel members who are supporting me every month. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And of course, all of you who leave comments and share the videos and hype the videos. It makes such a difference, and I appreciate you so very much. Thank you. I will see you again soon. Stella Wilde, signing out.